Last week, Google made the biggest change in search in 25 years. They released it at the Google I/O keynote in Mountain View. And this is so exciting for business owners like contractors and people whose AI agents like us. But I think that it's scary news, and it's going to disrupt 95+% of marketers, especially the AI and SEO consultants. In today's Marketing Mechanic episode, I'm going to explain exactly why that is, what these changes are. If you want to watch their 2-hour video, you can. I think it's super impressive and fun, mind-blowing. We can cover all the stats and how they have 13 products with over 1 billion users, and how Gemini is the fastest growing, largest app for using AI agents, and how Google is successing their investments in infrastructure, how they're the best position to win in AI, and it just sucked all the oxygen out of the room, OpenAI. But I want to talk about it practically on this is Marketing Mechanic episode. Structurally, what does this mean? So by the end of this episode, you're going to understand what pieces are going away and what you need to do to actually rank in Google's new Gemini, new AI search overview, Spark, their payment platform that they have that integrates everything, the anti-gravity wrapper that connects all this to apps, Neural Expressive, which is how they show these things. All of this stuff's going to make sense, and you're going to see exactly why this is the stuff I told you so a couple years ago. 5 years ago, I said this was going to happen. When I met with Tim, not because I'm smart, I met with some friends at Google, and they told me, I said, why don't you release this and this? And they said, because we're waiting. And last week was the time that they did that. So I'm glad you're here. Let's dive in. So you guys have known for the longest time, there's been a search box, and there's been 10 clues. So you do a search in here, and maybe I'm feeling lucky. By the way, we're at the Cleveland airport. So important. I wanted to do it here at the airport. There was a plane, beautiful plane, I guess you don't see it anymore. But when you did that, you would see the getting linked. And each of those would go to a website, and maybe along the way. And that's what people thought that search was. And so when you try to rank, I want to rank number 1, I want to rank number 2. And this is that whole ranking thing. So ranking goes away. Doesn't mean anything, because the new results are you have a conversation and you say what you're doing. Instead of this thing where you just put in one word or two and every session is brand new and restarts. It's an ongoing conversation where they remember. And as you're talking, it's expanding because you're talking about your habits and your planning. For example, Google's embedded into your schedule. They have this daily brief where every day tells you what's going on, issues you need to be aware of as you're planning a wedding or working on your house. It's keeping track of all those things for you. They've created Gemini Omni, which is combining everything, every modality together. And it's a super smart play because they're starting from the information. They're starting from having the advantage as a manufacturer, TPUs, right, making microchips. So when we have this conversation and they remember everything, context window, then instead of showing the search result, now they're going straight into purchase. And this is their whole AP2 payments platform integrated with all the major players. This is them, for example, if you would say, how do I ride, I teach my toddler to go from balancing on the bike to riding with pedals. Instead of here's a bunch of YouTube videos I have to go through, it actually gives you some answers. Maybe there's a table, there's a chart, then here's a little video on this step, here's a video on this step, here's an interactive app they built for you. So they're custom building an app. They are skipping going to your website. Sort of idea of going to a website. This is like all of us who are doing stuff on WordPress, all of us who are to know, we're going to be off of WordPress within 6 months. If you don't know why, that's a whole nother discussion. But the idea was that you would look at your traffic to the web and you'd say, what do I need to do? I'm going to generate a bunch of pages, I'm going to buy a bunch of bad things, I'm going to buy a bunch of fake traffic, all this kind of stuff to try to get myself up in here. This I'll do some searches right now. But Google's cutting out all this, and they're driving straight to the answer. So if you have your underlying bucket, a model context protocol, which is just being able to tell that the MCP is like the API for AI agents. So you're just passing your information back. You're passing your information to Claude, you're updating your Google Business Profile. So your agent, MCP is basically synonymous with the agents doing the work. So you have agents that are gathering feedback from your CRM and other systems, passing your signals back up into whatever tools you're using, Service, Titan, or maybe, I'm biased, HVAC Quote.ai, you're an HVAC company, or your home services company, you got an AI call center. That's an AI call center. Your technicians are doing things, right? Your service, you're an agency, you're taking care of clients. There's a track record, there's a system that keeps track of the customers. All that stuff, it could be in Asana or Google Docs, or Microsoft Copilot, Coworker, all this stuff. Instead of having it be pushed up to the website, which requires licensing and engineers, software, and all this expensive nonsense that a lot of us have made a living doing for many years. Now, you bypass all that, we just pass straight up to these agents. So we have agents, and then they have agents. So this, you call it like A to A, agent to agent, right? So instead of let me try to put all this stuff on the web to try to fool this algorithm, this game doesn't matter. It's so amazing. You hear all the people that do SEO professionally, or they say they're gurus and they're freaking out about how their websites aren't getting traffic. Yet the people we're working with, their sales are going up. It's because people are talking to the AI. And the AI is making recommendations as part of a conversation. So no longer. The search used to be like Denver ruthless, Denver commercial ruthless, whatever. That's not it anymore. In the conversation, the intent is inferred. And you see in Google's engineers discussing this as part of the conversation, they used to do, I think for ChatGPT, they would do what's called a fan-out query. A fan-out query is as you are saying something, and Google's trying to guess what the related things are. You can think of this like the more powerful version of a type-ahead search result. When you type something in and it started to guess what the next word is, they actually demonstrated that at Google I/O, where you're asking a question, I'm trying to plan a neighborhood block party, and I want to invite people and figure out who needs to come and arrange, make sure it's within the HOA guidelines, get a bounce house, figure out a budget, and start doing with organization. It's not just doing type ahead, it's like doing a thought ahead. So when it's figuring out what do you need, it's custom building apps. It's not just giving you the consolidated answers, which is what a chatbot would do, but the agents are actually then suggesting, based on it, I can infer what they want to do. I can schedule an appointment. I can reach out to people. I can do things within your control, your guidelines, that kind of thing. And I was just wowed for 2 hours watching them explain all these different things of work. But the idea is instead of a robot you're talking to, we're talking to a really smart assistant. And then, this is like a geek out thing, so you're not an engineer, you might not. You can skip the next 5 minutes. But they have this thing called anti-gravity. What is anti-gravity? It's a harness. So a lot of people, they wanted to do OpenClaw or other ways of trying to organize agents, or they built their own orchestration layer, what some people are calling that, or in a more barbaric way, like an N8N or a MIG or whatnot. But you've got different agents that are doing things. So you have an agent that's looking across YouTube videos, and in parallel, another agent that's updating website, another agent that's generating video. You have all these agents that are doing things either in sequence and parallel. Then you have a harness that's organizing them. Either Google has anti-gravity that's embedded inside a Gmail, that's embedded inside your app. So I'll show you maybe in a minute. But you can also use anti-gravity. So as you are doing things, it's even for the busy CEO who doesn't want to learn the vibe code or whatever. You can just be talking through it, and it's smart enough to know, based on the request that you have, what you're trying to do. To spin up a bunch of agents that are being managed by the harness. It's like there's an engine, and then anti-gravity, the harness is like all the stuff around the caution, the brakes and the steering wheel, like all this stuff. It's not just, there's stuff around the engine to make it useful, to organize all the pieces of the car. So what's beautiful is that you actually have a great business. So I love home service businesses because they're high ticket. It's the last thing the AI is going to take away. If there's all those signals from your people, from your suppliers, people in your community, you as the figurehead, you're Anthony Hill, maybe you wear your green shirt everywhere you go, like a mascot. You don't have to be like that, but there's clear signals, right? Then this goes to your agents, which we have built for you. You download all the skill MD files. This is the skill MD files of like the training. It's like the matrix where you learn how to fly the helicopter. Oh, now I can do Kung Fu. Those are skill.md files. These agents have the skill files to then be able to interface with the agents that are from ChatGPT and Claude and whatnot. So if you want to be this homeowner who has a leaking roof, or something that's not also obviously like an emergency plumber or whatever. That's more like bottom of funnel, immediate talk to somebody, but interior decorating or concrete coating or other things that people are considering that they want to do stuff, there's a conversation. And so if you have your, for example, price list, so if you follow Jason Amato and these other, or like Anytime Plumbing, these guys, any hour, then your price list is going to be public. You could run it through these different tools. You can push it all the way up into Google, and as you're having conversations, Google is proactively checking the price. Going to the florist or making the restaurant reservations for you. Their agents are doing that. If they know the price, they know how you do it, they can see your reputation, you're bypassing the full layer, because websites are for humans to go to. WordPress and other tools, or name your favorite tools. Premiere Pro for editing video. That's for humans to have to log in. If you don't need humans to do this, you don't need humans to do this other stuff, then we can just focus on taking care of customers. If you're a technician, you're a roofer, you're a licensee of Brad Strawbridge, Boulder Link System, you're opening up a roofing, not franchise, but location following his framework, then you just need to take care of the customers, phone, answering the phone, all the marketing, all the landing pages, all the social media, all that. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just generate the signal. Your agents will repurpose. They're not generating. They're not like making up an article on 10 ways to get a better price, and 10 ways to make sure your garden doesn't have weeds in it for long. You don't have to do any of that anymore. You just have real proof. Agents are repurposing. They're doing all the things that your agency would be doing. If I was a traditional digital agency, I'd be like Lance Bachman, we're the largest SEO agency. I'd sell. Get the heck out, right? Lance Bachman sold one SEO at the top and buying a bunch of roofing companies. Pretty smart, right? So, what was the other point I was going to make? So now you're developing all of this nonsense is being taken away. If I had another color, red, I would just let all this out. Real people that need the services. Real people that are rendering the services. If you're a young adult using AI, you can configure this component for all of these local service businesses that don't want to do it, even though they can talk to the AI, they can talk to Google or talk to Claude. Claude is the hot one right now, but I think I've been saying, I think in a year, most of it is going to be in Google. If you look at Google stats, Google's growth, they've been growing faster than anybody. And they also have a cost advantage because of hardware, it's whatever. So, see, what else did I have for you here? Oh yeah, the most important thing tidbit I've been thinking about this. Because this is a conversation, you're saying stuff and all this other, a lot of these features are not releasing until summer, but they're launching a thing called Ask YouTube and Ask Google, where it's giving you this consolidated answer, building it for you on the fly and whatnot. As of now, probably going to be good through the end of 2026, maybe longer. The things that you're doing here, there's some hack where you push that to YouTube at Google Business Profile. That seems to be like a higher signal strength move to do. They just try to do like social media, what YouTube is owned by Google. So this isn't, your teams are working with their team. If you know that you have to convince an agent, like the homeowner working, if you want to know what's coming from practitioners like me and other folks that I get to subscribe to this channel, let me know. What do you think? I'm Dennis Yu, former search engine engineer. I'm a marketing mechanic. A video every week for you. This is 100% real. No AI. Beauty is that this is where the humans come in. Let me show you one quick thing. So last night, I went to my favorite Korean barbecue place. My buddy Trenton Sandler. He's a 4-minute miler. One of only 2,000. I only ran a 407. But the picture of us, we were eating Korean barbecue, and I said, generate a video. And you'll see that's the actual video. So you want to edit videos, you want to update your website, like all these things. The agents that Google has and anti-gravity, which ties, they call it the daily brief. So it can send it to you every day. But it shows you, I need to contact my buddy immigration attorneys. And here's somebody who signed up for some services to get a quick audit. And here's something I need to look at in terms of one of our developers built something. It's giving me, you want to have like your secretary prepared for you, your chief of staff prepared for you, all the stuff for you to look at it. Sit here. She's got a whole team of people that are building out agents, we're building out Agent 4.2, and Josh is helping us. So it'll even suggest what needs to happen. This is so nice. And then this goes across the Gemini app, it goes across the laptop. They demonstrated it goes across the glasses. If you want to buy the glasses by Warby Parker, I'm not quite so far to be like part of the org, but this is where things are going. I'm super excited. And you need to decide, what is your view? Are you jumping into this stuff and because you have a great reputation and AI is going to amplify that? Or are you a Josh Crouch and you are just like trying to use people and take their money and think that the old way is never going to change? SEO is always going to be, if you take people who are real, like Damon Burton, he runs SEO National, one of the largest SEO companies. He and I are saying he's an investor in our company too. He and I both agree, this is never changing. The underlying signals are never changing. This is true, and you repurpose it with or without agents. These changes actually help you because the stuff that all what's called black hat, all the trickery, all the things that people, the Josh Crouches of the world, their stuff is getting crushed because these things, it just is not how it works anymore. They're not dealing with real signals. They're just like generating stuff by having VAs in the Philippines make up content. Not a lot. You get the Philippines, but real signal amplifying. It's the microphone, the 100-watt amplifying. You can't see it. Going to a 1,000-watt amplifier is not going to help you. Well, what do you think? What questions do you have? And I'm telling you, next 6 months, thinking absolutely. Love to hear what do you think.